And now we get to celebrate some of the work from journalists who've risked their lives to show us what is happening in the world today. The presentation of the awards. We are extremely lucky, fortunate, to have as our presenter Lester Holt, anchor of NBC Nightly News and Dateline NBC, straight from the studio. Lester, thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. And I want to thank the Overseas Press Club for inviting me to take part and to help honor some folks tonight. We do what we do because we have a passion for storytelling. We have a purpose of mission. We don't do it for each other. We put our viewers and our readers at the center of everything we do. Yet nights like this are important. They're important for us to lift each other up and to honor the best of us. At a time when, as Marty noted, that we are under attack on so many levels, it's important that we appreciate the work we do and lift up those audiences, those readers who depend on what we do. And so please enjoy this evening as we begin to present the awards. And we're going to start with just one housekeeping item for each award. I'm going to announce the names of the honorable mention citation winners first, then the name of the award winners. So please hold your applause until I've read the names of both groups. We're going to ask that only award winners will come up to the stage. I appreciate that. So let's get started. Our first award, the Hal Boyle Award, sponsored by Norm Pearlstein in honor of his friend Jerry Flint. It's for the best newspaper or news service reporting from abroad. The citation goes to Maggie Michael, Maad al-Zikry, and Nariman El-Mofty for Yemen's Dirty War, published by the Associated Press with support from the Pulitzer Center on Crisis Reporting. The winner is Sudarsan Raghavan of the Washington Post for Yemen's War and Humanitarian Crisis. In an era where great reporting is often associated with mobilizing massive teams and multimedia packages, Sudarsan Raghavan's Yemen package reminds us that sometimes all it takes to deliver outstanding work is one talented reporter with in-depth knowledge of the subject and the courage to go digging in the field.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm not supposed to do this, but I want to give a quick shout out and thanks to tables 7 and 6, the Washington Post, without whom, many people there, we would not have done the Yemen coverage, especially the woman in pink there, who for 20 years has been by my side and allowed me to travel the world to the most craziest places. A close friend of mine asked me recently, what does it feel like to cover Yemen? I just finished my 16th trip to Yemen since 2000, and initially I was confused. The typical answer from a journalist would have been, you're supposed to be unemotional, detached. You're supposed to cover it neutrally, which is all absolutely true. But I thought more about this question, and I realized that what I felt about Yemen, it's really been a roller coaster of emotions. It's frustrating. It's infuriating sometimes. At the same time, I think there's no more important place at the current moment for journalists to bear witness. It's frustrating because it takes months for Western journalists to get visas, if at all. On our last trip, we were prevented by the Saudi-led coalition from entering Yemen initially. It was retaliation for the Post's relentless coverage to hold Saudi Arabia accountable for Jamal Khashoggi's murder. We were threatened, we were denied access, we were constantly watched once we were in the country. It's infuriating because well-meaning journalists, human rights groups, aid agencies have worked round the clock to bring attention to the horrors unfolding in Yemen. Near famine, thousands of civilians, casualties, a cholera epidemic that's just getting worse and worse, an economic blockade using food as a weapon. The list goes on and on and on. Then, a bipartisan Congress votes to get the United States out of the war. Then, the president vetoes it. It's infuriating. It's frustrating. And yet, it's important to bear witness more than ever. And one clear example of this is what happened a few weeks ago. I received on WhatsApp a few photos. They were from a nurse who heads the clinic in one of northern Yemen's famine zones. There were pictures of a 3-year-old boy named Abdo Saleh. In the photos, he was plump. His skin was smooth. He was smiling. It was an amazing transformation. I was happy, emotionally fulfilled. The last time I saw Abdo, he was nothing but a jumble of bones. He was crying in pain in this village in northern Yemen. He was dying of hunger. Our telling of the story, the mere fact that we were there, a team of Western journalists were there, our concern for him helped convince local health authorities and charities to take him to hospitals, give him the treatment he desperately needed. He became one life that didn't end up like countless other casualties of the Yemen war. It's important to bear witness. I thank the Overseas Press Club for highlighting Yemen's plight through this and other awards tonight. I'm humbled and honored. Thank you very much.